This video will focus on using the Wayside Publishing Learning Site with the Google Classroom integration. It will cover the general use of the integration, creating activities, reviewing student submissions, and providing feedback. For more information on our Google Classroom integration, please visit the Wayside Publishing Google Classroom Integrations page to find helpful tutorials and guides. Our learning site was built to provide engaging and equitable tools and resources that enhance teaching and learning practices for both teachers and students. The learning site integration with Google Classroom is a customizable experience, offering the resources, content, and functionality of both the learning site and Google Classroom. With the ability to share activities seamlessly, you'll be able to efficiently create assignments, share links to content, and more. Using the learning site's Google Classroom integration is a simple process. Teachers will be prompted to connect their Google Classroom account to their learning site account when they first select the Share button on the learning site to post an activity or resource to their Google Classroom. The Wayside Learning Site offers many different instructional resources and activity types. We will focus on creating assignments, reviewing student submissions, and providing feedback for 3 common digital activity types: tasks, forums, and documents. Task activities include multiple choice, cloze activities, audio or video recordings, written responses, and more. The classroom forum, unit forums, and forum activities allow for interpersonal communication, sharing learning, adding external content, and extending interaction. Our classroom forum, which is its own link, could also be a great resource for community building and classroom communication. Document assignments are fillable PDFs that can be downloaded, accessed from a URL, or accessed from a content link. They could be completed and submitted digitally, or be printed for in-person completion and submission. The Google Classroom integration with the learning site allows you to easily share task, forum, and document activities, as well as videos, flashcard activities, resources, and more. To share an activity or resource from the learning site to your Google Classroom, first locate the activity or resource from the Content tab and select the Share button. You can also locate activities and resources from the compass icon in the flex text. A pop-up window will appear that will allow you to create a post directly on your Google Classroom after following the prompts. Select a class and an activity type. Then click Go to be taken to the Activity Detail window. Once in the Google Classroom Activity Detail window, you will see that the title is pre-populated, and there is a link attached that will take the teacher and the students directly to the activity or resource on the learning site. From this window, you can edit the title, assign to multiple classes or selected students, write directions, and add points or a due date if you would like. You can also choose to assign the activity immediately, delay a post, or save the assignment as a draft. Here are examples of both the teacher and student views of the same Google Classroom assignment created using the Share button on the learning site. The link at the bottom of the assignment will take you or your students directly to the activity or resource on the learning site. If you or your students are not logged into the learning site, you will be prompted to do so. Since students will be completing activities on the learning site, it might be a good idea to teach students to mark the assignment as done on Google Classroom. This will help with organization, as well as not cause a missing indicator on the assignment. With the Google Classroom integration, there are various options for assigning activities. Using the Share button, we'll create a Google Classroom activity post with a link to the specific learning site activity or resource you want to share. You do not have to assign the activity on the learning site. Teachers and students can keep track of activities using the Google Classroom tools and access submissions by using the link on the Google Classroom post. If you would like activities to appear on the Assignments tab on the Learning Site, you can use the built-in assigning tools. You can choose to assign only on the Learning Site, or you can choose to share the activity on Google Classroom, as well as assign it using the Learning Site's built-in assigning tools. Please note that activities that are not assigned using the Learning Site's built-in assigning tools and only assigned on Google Classroom using the Share button do not appear on the Assignments tab in the Learning Site, but can still be accessed through the link on the Google Classroom post. Document assignments are fillable PDFs that can be completed and submitted digitally or printed for in-person completion and submission. If you would like students to complete and submit a document assignment digitally, you will need to provide access to the document assignment through a Google Classroom assignment that allows students to upload their completed work. We recommend using a Chrome browser with our document assignments. Use the Share button on the Learning Site to create a Google Classroom assignment. Students will select the link from the Google Classroom assignment to access the document assignment. Students will then select the Download button to open the PDF in a new tab. Once open, students will be able to type directly on the fillable PDF and then select the Download with Changes option. Then, they can upload their completed PDF to the Google Classroom assignment using the Add or Create button. Now that you have seen how to create a Google Classroom activity post, let's move on to reviewing task, forum, and document assignment submissions. Task submissions will appear on the Learning Site in the Grades tab. By default, the filters are not all selected. You and your students will want to enable the filter under Activities to show Not Assigned but Attempted by Students, especially if you plan to assign tasks only on Google Classroom. Enabling this filter will allow you and your students to view task submissions that are not assigned on the Learning Site. You will use the Learning Site Grading and Feedback window to review tasks. In the Grading and Feedback window, you have the ability to provide written, audio, and video feedback to students, adjust grades, remove attempts, navigate between students, see submission details, and use the highlighting tool on written student work. Auto-graded tasks will appear in the Learning Site Gradebook immediately after submission. Click on the title of the assignment to view all student grades and additional details. Click on the Grade button to open the reviewing window. To go directly to the reviewing window from the Grades tab, click on a student's score. You can also access student submissions directly from the shared link on the Google Classroom post. Once on the Learning Site, select the Grades button to access student submissions. Your students can review their submissions and feedback from the Grades tab on the Learning Site. This is also where they can add evidence to their portfolio. Students can also use the shared link on the Google Classroom post and then select the Grades button. Once you have reviewed student task submissions, you can manually transfer grades from the Learning Site into your Google Classroom Gradebook. If you choose to share a forum activity on Google Classroom, you can review student submissions by accessing the forum through the link on the Google Classroom post. You can also access it on the Learning Site from the Content tab, or from the compass icon in the flex text. If you choose to assign the forum on the Learning Site, you can also access student submissions from the Assignments tab. If you choose to grade the forum, you can manually transfer grades from the Learning Site into your Google Classroom Gradebook. If your students submitted their document assignment to a Google Classroom assignment post, you can review their submissions using the built-in Google Classroom grading tools. You can also access student submission uploads in the Google Classroom Gradebook by selecting the hyperlink title. If you ever need support, we offer many options. Our help icon, the question mark you see in the top right of the Learning Site, offers quick access to guides and links to our video tutorials, FAQs, and support center. We also have a few ways to contact us: automated chat, email, and phone. I hope this Google Classroom integration overview was helpful. If you have any questions or would like more detailed information, please do not hesitate to reach out. Also, be sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as follow Wayside Publishing on social media. Take care!